Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Maria Designs. I'm Elisa Maria. Welcome back if you're back, and welcome if you are new. Today is Self-Care Sunday. And I'm debating, do I want to start with a reading? Because it's been one of those weeks. And just let it marinate in my head while I'm doing what I'm doing today. But I always get started with a little chat. So it's going to have to wait. Maybe wait, because then it'll be too much in my head. Anyway, I'm working on my Raven from Michael's Make Market. I should have brought the whole box up, but I just cleaned my room somewhat, and I didn't want to bring anything else up here that I didn't have to. Let me get this situated so we can see what the heck I'm doing here. So here's my little Raven. I actually have this little tray. I bought it from Temu. It has legs on it, but I didn't put it on yet because it like sits on the edge of your, your armchair or something that you can bring something in like a snack or whatever. But I never put the legs on, and so I'm just using it to carry in and out, sit out in the yard with it. And I was using my glue dots for this too. However, I found out that my glue dots are too strong for these tiny little like button, like they remind me of nonpareils, and so I think the glue dot is too strong and it's not letting go. So I was outside in the yard with this for a little while. This kit came with an orange tray, orange wax. I had to go get the wax because the glue dot was too much, and an orange diamond painting stick and an orange cushy, and I can't remember who it was. I do have an orange one. I can't remember who it was that said, "Where did you get that orange drill diamond painting stick?" I'm like, I don't know. I need more of this dose. That's what's going on here right now. My dose is back. I ran out, and I have to tell you guys that this stuff, I believe, is making my hair grow. And I kind of I was like, is that really true? My hair has never grown this fast. Like, I took a big length of it off like just a few months ago. I'm going to go back in my videos because my videos are like a record of things. And look, but when I ran out, my hair starts shedding. I'd be just diamond painting and I would see a strand of hair fall. I'm like, I really think this is the dose. Let me show you what else was in this pack here. The chandelier. Being that I have it here, look at the skeleton. Ain't she cute? And the book with the roses on it. I love this. This reminds me of something. Well, Kristen did this one. Kristen, who's the artist on Witch, she did this one. She sent me a text message, and she's like, "Here's my skeleton. My skeleton's done." But she has a canvas out. It's called The Tribute, and there's a book, and there's a rose, and there's a crucifix, and there's a pair of round purple glasses. So phone a friend if you don't know what that is. It's called The Tribute, and this reminds me a little bit of The Tribute. I think it's just roses on the book. It's really pretty. You can check that out at Diamond Art Emporium. Anyway, where did I leave you off yesterday? I left you off where I was in the park. John declared that he was not going to be a part of what we had planned, and he said, "Oh, I have to go over to the liquor store and I have to go get stuff for your birthday." And I'm like, what is he like right now you have to go and do this? But yeah, he had to go do it right then and there. I decided to stay and walk around the park, and as I was walking back showing you guys my neighborhood, who do I run into? My husband. He's coming down the street. I'm coming down the street. I'm going east. I'm going west to east, and he's going south to north. And I was like, I guess I'm going to the liquor store with him in Delaware. So we took a ride to Delaware. We continued our live. It was so funny because we didn't miss a beat, really. He left. I was like, go, just go. He left because he was really getting on my nerves. And I told him after. I was like, that wasn't cool what you did. We were supposed to do a live together. I was going to sketch in the park, and you taking off was not cool. So we talked a little bit in the car. Then we went to Total Wine. We went to go get stuff for we're going out Tuesday, which is my birthday, so I won't be here for a live. And we're going out Wednesday with 2 sets of our friends. And they're all named John. All John's friends are named John. So I have John number 1, my husband, John number 2, and John number 3. So we're going out to dinner on Wednesday night. And so he wanted to get this out of the way. I'm like, it's not like we're not retired and we can go at any time. However, he's like, oh, there's a nail supply. I think you guys seen this. The one thing about this is, because I'm making this for a journal. The one thing about this is that you see how the lines are not straight. So they start out straight, but then I guess they kind of curve to frame the raven. So he's like, oh, there's a nail supply store over there. I'm like, nah, they're probably just for people with a license. And they weren't. So I was able to go in there and get some stuff. However, he's busy looking for liquor. Now, I could care less about liquor. Really, I can't. But I did a little commercial for you coming out of the Total Wine. And I did take pictures of all our stuff that we got, and John is really, what would you call him? Oh God, I don't have enough of this dose in my brain right now to think of like like a wine connoisseur. Like the guys that are in Total Wine are so educated on wine that when they looked in his card, they were like, oh, you got an Amarone, you got not a Barolo, a Montrachet, you got a Barolo. Is it Barolo? I think it's Barolo. Or am I getting confused with one of his friends' last names? I don't know. He's got all these wines in the cart. Know what I got? I went, oh, they got gummy bears. Let me school you, Bethany Frankel. These are the best gummies in the world. Not Saturday Candy Company. I don't know what the hell that was. And I saved a few of you that were still waiting for the order. My son, who's a candy freak like me, and he was like, what are these? I was like, give them to your friend's daughter. When I'm giving her these. I got these. These are what I got. I got these when I went to Michael's. You didn't see them because I ate the whole package. Bethany Frankel was banging her hands on her table. Oh my God. I got one in my mouth and I'm palming one in my hand. I don't know what the hell she was eating. But that's not what got delivered to me. They were terrible. They were terrible. These are the best gummies in the world. Let me tell you. Cherry, strawberry, mango, pineapple, lemon, orange, green apple, watermelon, pink grapefruit, lime, blue raspberry, grape. I don't even have to tell you. You could close your eyes, and if I put one in your mouth, you would know which one it is. Pineapple. And they're soft. They're real soft. I gotta put these away. I didn't eat any breakfast yet. I'm going out to dinner. Now I'm going out to brunch with our new friends, with the nurse, who was the private nurse for either Gwent or Schneider. Who's the other guy? Oh, I can't think. I just can't think. I'm fried. My brain's fried. Oh God, Hooper. Who played Hooper in Jules? I was just talking about him. It's gone. I don't know. Let me diamond paint. Anyway. Richard Dreyfuss. Oh, it came. This is because I don't have my dose. I'm telling you guys, this is because I don't have my dose. Nothing's working. It's taken me forever to do this little raven. So what I'm doing with this is I gave my members a choice, and if you're doing the Raven class, which is like a big self-care Sunday, I'm creating a journal, a handmade journal for you, and in there I am going to put little notes, little exercises for you to do, to write. That's a class I would love to have. I would love to have a class on journal to the self. I did something when I was in New York. I was a mixed media artist for some time, collage and everything. Collage, mixed media, rubber stamping. And I did a class called Soul Collage because people really don't understand collage. And it was the collage that I would do would be based in memories. And the owner, Anna, your ears must be ringing. Anna Chang. she begged me to come with her to, I mean, literally, sorry, Anna, but Anna was like, please come with me, Elisa. Nobody wants to come to my journaling class. I love words. I live for words. I was like, oh, I'm not right. I'm not a writer. But I went and I fell in love with this class. It's called Journal. It was written by Kathleen Abrams. It was called Journal to the Self, and it's a little book of exercises to do, because kind of, as artists, and we're creators, looking at a canvas is like looking at a blank page. It can be overwhelming, and Kathleen Abrams breaks this down to get yourself a composition book. Don't get yourself a high art journal and think that you're Jane Austen and you're like a glass pen. And believe me, I got all that. My husband bought me a gorgeous journal. It's around here somewhere. I have yet to open it. And I could have been documenting like the first 4 years of our marriage. However, we have a book of, we call it the Book of Love. We have a composition book that this is something that I was doing in the restaurant business because we would change shifts, and I was there in the morning. And so I would leave notes for my PM shift, and I would tell them, when you read this, make sure you sign off on it, that I know you read it, and then leave me any notes that I need for the morning. Well, the girls loved this. They loved this book, that it went all around the restaurant. They would leave each other notes. It was just a way for us to keep in touch with the AM and PM shift. So when I met John, he used to he would say, like, what are you always writing? I was really a heavy journaler when we first met because there was so much going on with the pandemic. I'm going through a divorce. This was all this stuff that I was brain dumping out of my head. And I left him a note one morning because now he would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe about 4:30, because he would already be out the door at 6. He had to be in work for 7. So I would leave him notes in the book, and then he started leaving me notes in the book. And he loved that. He was like, I love getting up in the morning. I used to get up with him, but he would be like really cranky. He would like, I love that you get up with me and you want to make me breakfast and all, but I know that you didn't go to bed until like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That was like the magic hour for me. I love that time of day. 1, 2, no, not really going into the 3 o'clock hour, but he would say, but you're tired and I'm trying to get things ready for work. I got a lot of things on my mind. I don't know what I'm going to be faced with when I get into the post office. So I was like, fine, I don't need to be up. If you're going to let me sleep, I would love to just sleep. And we started our own communication book that we call the Book of Love. And we've had our Book of Love now for like 4 years. That my top cabinet right there, you could actually see through some of it. Right here, it's full with notes that me and John leave each other. I love it. And he loves it because if you know John, he moves very, very fast. I call him, he's like a fly in July. When they're, the flies, they're babies and they're buzzing all around you. I call him a fly in July. And so in the morning, he would come down and he would read the note that I left, and he would make himself a cup of coffee, and then he would write. And he said, you know what I love about this writing in the morning? He's like, I'm very calm when I go to work. I'm like, that's great. He's like, I feel like I do like this brain. I'm like, that's exactly what it is. You're not walking around with all this stuff in your head all day long. It is a brain dump. Like in the beginning, like in the artist way, when you write your morning pages, 3 pages in longhand every morning, front and back, you don't abbreviate, you write in longhand. No LOL. You write, I'm laughing out loud, because the act of writing it out, you're slowing yourself down, and you're basically, you'll see your handwriting even change. You'll be writing because you're trying to get everything out, and it's very frenetic energy, and it's just, you're just brain dumping everything. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes they're not even full sentences. You're just brain dumping, and then you start to get down to what is underneath, which we just don't really even get to because we're walking around with the same messages in our head. But once you write that down, you've let it go. Now you can get into what's really going on. And then you get even deeper. By the time you get on your third page, you're like, oh, wow. So that's what I've been holding. Like, that's what I've been thinking about. Or that's why this keeps bothering me. Now it makes sense. So the writing is something that I'm always pushing. And so I decided to make you guys a journal. That's what I'm getting to. Anyway. And so I'll have these little exercises in there. And like I was saying, I would love to do a journal to the self class and teach you these exercises. Not only are they fun, they're short and they're fun, and they just get the creative juices flowing to maybe you do become a writer. Maybe you maybe it sparks this creativity and you get down to deal. Because the one thing that I noticed with this and in my writing is that it connects to all other things. This is the glue dot. I'm having a little bit of a problem with this. I think I put glue dots in everything though now. Is there a glue dot in there? It connects you to other stuff. No, I think that this is actually, nope, this looks like putty, and it might not keep the wax in there. So many choices. Let's see what's in here. Oh, this looks like a glue dot too. Oh, I'm in trouble. Let me see what's in this one. Oh, this is my Diamond Art Club. Let's see how you do. I love Diamond Art Club pen because it's always ready to go. It's always ready. Oh, there you go. And then this topper I got from Cheryl on Etsy. I'll link her, and that's where I get my rain sticks from. You hear my pen? It's got a rain stick in it. It's a rain stick. Custom pens by Cheryl. And the topper is from her, the coffee topper. And she had a really cute one. I might go and get it. It's like a little Halloween one. I think she has a Halloween set now. So that's a way of dressing up your pens, because I just have a plain big, he's big. In fact, I ordered from Flawa. Is this her? I ordered from Flawa, Flawa. I ordered a diamond painting tray and pen. Now she's heavy. But I like her too. Let's see how you're doing. But if you wanted to just dress up your pen, if you have, like a plain black or white pen, this would do. Is that my other white pen? Let me see. Oh no, that's my marker. Yeah, that's my marker. And then this pen I got from Ren. When Ren was doing, he would give you a kit. He would give you a toolkit. And this one's from Ren. And all my skinny placers are on top from Star Ore. I love Star Ore's skinny placers. They're almost as skinny as the Diamond Art Club placer. Almost as skinny. Well, pretty good. So this is what I do. You know why? Because I'm a painter, and I'm used to having, if you go back into my earlier diamond painting videos, you'll see, this is what you'll see when you turn on. It's me like used to holding brushes, and this is the way I first started diamond painting, with all my brushes in my hand, all my diamond painting pens in my hand. That's the way I would diamond paint. And I'd be like, all right, now I need my skinny. It's just like, when you paint, it's like, oh, I need my flat brush, I need my round brush, I need my number 4. And then sometimes you just need to change the weight in your hand. It gets to be too heavy or too light, or you want something like this pen would be great right now. I don't have a single placer in here. That's so crazy. How did I lose my single placer in here? Because it's got weight And these last few left are tight, because you could see the lines are crazy. See how crazy they are? So this is my Leopard Leopold. This is one of my favorite pens, and I love this pen for setting AB drills. It does, I don't know what it is. I don't know why the AB drills are different, but I just love it for my AB drills. It sets my AB drills really nicely. It's kind of like a jeweler's tool, almost. So it's funny, right? How different pens give you different feels, but also you kind of earmark them for certain drills. So all my weight is done. And he's going to go on a journal. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do around the sides. I'm not a washi tape person. I don't want to put, but this is going to go on paper because I'm covering the front of the journal. Here's some of the paper. Here's some of the paper. So I'll get a composition book, and then I'll cover the front, and then I'm going to do all little pages inside, make some pockets, make some fun tags to go in there with this stuff. This is great to do tags with. But I don't know that I want to do like a full Halloween book. Like, yeah, oh, look at what I got in here. Look at what I got in here. This is the other set that I bought from Michael's, and they were a little curled up, so I stuck them in between the paper. So here's the Queen of Tarts. Here's the bunny rabbit. Here's the cat. And here is Alice with her potion. And what else does she have? Oh, and the key. Isn't that cute? And I am going to do, I have in the corner here, I have Curtis Reikovich's, oh, here she is. I didn't open this up yet, guys. Queen of Hearts. I call her Queen of Tarts. Am I wrong? I have that. And is this the other Alice? Yep. And I have Our Madness. And you know why I liked Our Madness? He had a few. I think he has a newer Alice. I got the older Alice because the cat is in here. What else is in here? The cat, the bow in her hair says, drink me, eat me. And then, what else was in here? I really liked this one. Oh, there's not a bigger, I really should open these up. I love the cat, and you can't see the background on this. I'm gonna have to pull the bigger picture up. Curtis does the most interesting backgrounds, and I loved the background in here. I'm trying to get that glare off of there. There we go. And the cat. And see her little bow with the little tags on there. I loved her face, her little freckles, and her hands didn't freak me out that much because he's got a goth background, that one. I don't know what else I got in this corner. I'm gonna just pull one more because I got 5 of them in here. Who is this? I got another Yume. I didn't even know. I have another Yume. I finally learned how to say her name right. Thank you, Tracy. I was saying Yumi May. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. You, me, and I just doubled up the M, May. But it's Yume. I got Counting Stars. I didn't know I had this. Oh my God. I gotta get in this room. Wait, let me show you what else I got. Wasn't I doing something already? I forgot I had her too. Now, all right, Tracy, how do I say this? Bear Brickshaw. This is like Beyond the Clouds. Look at her. You guys know I love a crescent moon in there. Love it. I have her. Should I take another one out? I got Snow White, and I got the witch. Who's this? Why is this rolled up? Who is this? Oh, this is Snow White. Okay. All right, you stole that one. All right, let me see what else I got in the corner. Oh, here's my new Camilla. Soul of the Storm. I love this. I've been dying to do something that's black and white. I got some great diamond paintings sitting in the corner here. You know, I had to take these out because I'm going to be decorating my journal, and all my mixed media stuff is in that little, in this little thing over here. In that stool, all my mixed media stuff is. So I got to get in that corner. So. Dreamer. This looks like an old, is this an old box or a new one? Don't even talk about what's in the closet. Don't even talk about it. What's in the closet? I got stuff in the closet. This I have been wanting for the longest time because I love the artist David Gauchat. I might be saying his name wrong too. I'm sorry. I can't really I like doing deep dives into artists, and I've already done deep dives into Curtis Reykjavik. And David, right? David would be one that I would do because he's got such a rich background in art. But this is blonde Cleopatra. I think she's going to be stunning. I got to make a plan to live long enough to get these done. It's taken me forever to do a raven. Anyway, let's put you here. Let's finish the raven. Ooh! All right, they're on the floor. I'll get them later. So let's finish the raven. So this came with the 4 canvases that I just showed you and 57 colors. So this is going to be used, like if I wasn't filming right now, I would pull another one of these out and put these in because I'm working out of a baggie. Not the greatest thing because I got to put this back in here. So I'm thinking, how many colors do I have left? A few more. Where's my scissor? Yeah, see, I don't like this. And you know, maybe I'll use this to stand everything up. I have my trays in there, but I like these from the dollar store, these trays from the dollar store, because I can just take this and do this. So, and they fit really nicely this way too. So let's move on to the next color, EFJK. That's what's left, and I think I have them in order. I was sitting out in the yard. Is it a small F or big F? So A, yeah, I think they're in order here. Grab this whole bunch, and then I'll go into the next one that has these colors open. E, F, J, and K, and then we'll be done with the raven. There we go. I am starving. I didn't eat this morning. I just got up and I was so happy that my dose came, but now I have to contact them because they sent me, I ordered a 90-day supply and they sent me 2 bags of 30. It's just like, it's just like, why can't I just get something done and be done with it? Oh, I just dropped these all over. All right, we'll get that later. Why can't I just get something done and be done with it? Why is it always this long, prolonged, you know? And I know what they're going to say. Oh, send it back to us. And like, hell no. This is your mistake. I just about have time to write an email to tell you that you made a mistake. They could have sent 3 bags of the 90. And that's probably what they're going to say. There should have been 3 in there. But, you know, I don't know why they just didn't send the one big bag. See? My glue dot is in here and it's not letting go of the drill. So you have to go away because I'll keep picking you up because I'm used to working with you. There's nothing in that one. Let's go back to this one. And so that's what's going on. I'm just like, you know, it would be great if I didn't eat before we went out, but that's not going to be good. I just have a little oatmeal or something. John's out. He's at the lake. He's doing his walk. He's walking now with weights. He calls it a farmer's walk. Does anybody know what that is? That's what he's doing. I'm like, you know, there's stuff down the basement that you can lift up and walk with. Trying to get the basement in order. You don't have to make believe you're a farmer picking up heavy objects and walking with them. So then he'll come home and be exhausted. I handed him the bad seed this morning. He's like, oh, okay, we'll start this later. I'm like, I don't know, John. We're going out to brunch. We have things that we have to do. You know, Monday's like right around the corner. I wanted to go to brunch early. Like, I wanted to go to brunch at like noon, but our couple can't get there till about 3, but we're going to get there at like 2:30 because I just don't, not that I don't want to blow my whole Sunday, but I just would rather go early. I feel like at 2 o'clock, then you're running into everybody else that wants to be out at 2. I want to be walking out the door when everybody else is walking in, because then things get frazzled, you know. We met them during happy hour at Steak 38, and we were there early. We were there at 4 o'clock. We were the first 2 couples in line, and by the time we were getting ready to leave, things were just starting to like gear up, where it just gets super loud and people are like leaning over you like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you ready to leave? Like that kind of atmosphere, because everybody wants to get to the bar. And like I said, I'm not a drinker, you know. I was happy with the gummy bears that I got at the wine store yesterday. And so then we went around the corner, I think you heard that too, to a place that he used to perform at years ago. And he said, oh, I wonder if the owner is still there. He wasn't. And they do blue crab. Wait, not blue crab. They do Dungeness and snow crabs on a Tuesday and Thursday. And Tuesday is my birthday. And Tuesday we're going to Bucatini. But Wednesday we're going to Bucatini. So like 2 nights in a row, I'm going to be in the same restaurant. And initially I said, it's no big deal. I want to go to Bucatini with our friends too. But I'm going to be there the night before. And I said, oh my God, John, I didn't have crab at all this year, and they're going to be doing it on my birthday. And he's like, no, I made reservations already. I'm like, but it's not your birthday. I want to go and I want to eat. I want a beer. I want to go out casual. I want a beer. I want some crabs, and I'm going to be in heaven. He's like, I'm not taking you here for your birthday. He was right. He said, I'll take you the following week. I'm like, I might not be alive the following week. This is the way my brain works. I'm like, I might not be here. And if I die, you're going to say the last thing she wanted to do was eat crabs, and I didn't take her. That's the way I think. So if he would have said to me, oh, you know what? I know you made that reservation, but would you mind if we went out for crabs? I really want to have crabs. I'd be like, yeah, sure, hon. That's what you want. It's your birthday. He's giving me an argument. Because he better not have a surprise plan. You guys all know the surprise story. He better not have anybody jumping up at me or anything. It might be that our friends are not meeting us on Wednesday. It might be that they're going to be there on Tuesday. And this is what he does to me. This is what he does. Because I know he's got something planned. I've been planning this for months. Why are you planning my birthday for months? It's my birthday. He did throw me a beautiful birthday for my 60th. He did throw me a gorgeous birthday party. I had never had a surprise party. This was not a surprise. But he worked so hard on it. From the invitations, he got a picture of me when I was a little girl, and he designed the invitation, and he wrote the invitation up, and on the back of the invitation there was a picture of me and my son when he was a little boy, and he was dressed up as a fireman. It was really cute. We had a good time. You know, he had a DJ, and my cousin Frank is also a great singer, and he sang, oh God. I could just take my time here because I could edit this out, but I won't. And Gordon Lightfoot. My husband sings If You Could Read My Mind, but my cousin sang beautiful, and he did such a beautiful job. My husband didn't sing. Did he sing that night? Yeah, he sang. But my cousin sang beautiful. It was such a beautiful song. The way that he's got a beautiful voice, and he looks just like Robert De Niro. It's so funny. It's so funny. He looks just like Robert De Niro. If I can find a picture of him from that night, I'll put it up. I might even have a clip of him singing beautiful. Oh, he did a beautiful job. We had a good time. My cousins are all crazy. We're all cut from the same cloth. It was a big Italian birthday party. Is it time for that reading yet? What number? What am I on? I forgot what number I'm on. J. I think because I'm hungry. And then I ate that stupid gummy bear, which is loaded with sugar. And you know how sugar makes you hungry? It does me. Anyway, it works that way with me. Sugar works that way with me. I really need to know what day it is, too. What is today's date? This thing has got a million things of information, everything but what the date is, of the 24th. Wow. Yeah, that's right. My birthday's the 26th. Where did August go? Am I back with this pen? With the glue dot? Yep. This one. Here we go. It's taken me forever to get this little raven done. This tiny little raven. It's taken me forever. I really need a reading. Like I said, it was a hell of a week. It really was. It was a hell of a week. And I really don't have patience for nonsense this week at all. And I met with some nonsense this week. But it's not a nonsense that I have not dealt with before. But this was not the week for me to deal with someone's nonsense. But you see, when you don't deal with them the first time, you just kind of let it go. You give somebody a pass because you just figure maybe they're having a bad day. Or maybe they're just, you know, this is the way that they are and has nothing to do with you. And so, like, I limit my time with people like that because you have to. And because if you're here for a self-care Sunday, I can almost bet that you're the type of person, you're very good-natured and you're very caring and giving. And people sometimes are not deserving of that. There's no virtue in being kind to someone. Kindness is a virtue when you are in a relationship with someone that is rational and that it appreciates your kindness. But there are people out there that you just cannot be kind to because then you are being complicit in them taking advantage of you. And this is what I was met with this week. And I'm like, you know what? This is like the second time. And I'm done. You know, I think as you get older, your patience, not your patience, I think your knowledge for stuff like this gets a little bit less tolerant because, you know, I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm a nice person. I can't really be like that. I can't really no. I'm done being complacent, not complacent, but complicit in allowing people to just be. The word isn't even rude. don't know what it is, because it's really, my opinion of this person really doesn't matter. My opinion of myself matters. And so I'm just like, I don't feel good when I'm around this person, and don't want to be around them anymore. So this was one of Ren's diamond painting toolkits, and I have another pen in there with all the placers. This was one of his past toolkits. Oh, I think there might be putty in here and all. There's like a little cover minder. There is, oh, Black Dahlia putty. I think it's a little bit too humid right now for that. It's a very soft putty. But that's a putty that's probably good in the winter. So I have it in here. So let's put you in here. Let's see what's going on for August the 24th. August the 24th. I'm almost there. I'm on the 22nd. Everything's falling out. I have a million bookmarks. Oh, I actually had a bookmark. Oh, it's called Enthusiasm. Oh, I like that. Let's put this here. Let's get some more of this. Let me just share this with you. I'm reading the first line. My eye caught it real quick. And I had a breakdown last night. I was talking to John. And, you know, this is a question that I've been asking, like, since we met. And it's always, well, it's a question I've been asking my whole life, but it's a question that I share with my husband, is like, I just don't understand. I don't understand how sometimes, and again, it comes back to, you know, you're good to people and you think that you are in, I can't even say that truthfully. I don't really think that I ever thought that I was in a good relationship with this person. I think that did I tolerate them? No, I don't think that I tolerated them. I think that I was just waiting for the situation to change. Where if you're not the better, but if you show a better example of how to be in the world, that it might catch fire and they might want to be like you in a way. Like, be a good person, and they really don't, for whatever reason. And, you know, I said to my husband, I just don't understand. Like, I had a friendship with this person for a really long time, and I don't understand how they could just go, like, they don't, and this happened to my husband too, when his mother died. And something happens when, like, the matriarch or patriarch of a family die. I feel like I've seen families split. And my family split when my father died. And it's like, what was really going on? When my ex-mother-in-law died, the family split. Like, I was very close to one member in my ex-husband's family, and it was like, God, like, I really never ever knew you. Like, this is who you really are? That was kind of freaky. When my father died, my family split. When my girlfriend's father died, the family just crumbled. So I think something happens when the matriarch and the patriarch of the family dies. Now, when my husband's father died, and he was the kindest, sweetest man, there might have been some cracks, but his mother was a very strong woman. When I met her, the first thing that she said to me was like, nobody's going to get over on me. She was telling me a story, but she was like being really tough about it. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, I'm just meeting you for the first time. Why do you feel like you have to put this defense up with me? But we got to be really, because we understood each other. We're just very strong women. And when she died, the family cracked. And, you know, people choose their sides. And my husband was like, I didn't even get a say in what happened. And I'm like, but neither did I. Nobody wanted to hear from me. You know, like, no, she went to go live another life. Like you didn't know what was going on for 30 years. You know, and it's just like, how do people, like, not to even pick up the phone and say, Elisa, like, what happened? Like, are you really going to get divorced after 30 years? Like, what happened? Or like, we knew something was wrong, that you we're not really happy. Anyway, enthusiasm. Here we go. We are human beings, are being infinite as wind. Our human house full of holes. Ain't that the truth? Whew, as difficult as it is to accept that there are no answers in life, my husband's home, it is even more difficult at times to accept that no one holds what we presume are the answers. Well, I think I'm going to need to get my marker out for this one, because this is my whole life. I have a need to understand things, and I just keep asking the same question over and over and over and over and over again, hoping to get an answer. But here it is right here. Difficult to accept that there are no answers, and to accept that no one holds what we presume are the answers. And just for good measure, he said, no one. There is only, it seems, the returning glimpse of wholeness in which all is seen and felt, and the frequently muddled aftermath when clarity is gone and all speech fails. In essence, as we must blink 1,000 times a day, what is human in us blinks continually over our essence. In this way, our limitations humble us, covering our gifts repeatedly, blinking away. Then not, then not. There is no escaping the mix of all this. There is only holding the mystery of truth in view, even when we're in the dark, the way we can feel the warmth of the sun when our lids are closed. So what are we left with? Well, we are each faced with the endless and repeatable task of discovering or uncovering our enthusiasm, which means in essence being at one with the energy of God or the divine. The word itself comes from the Greek en, one with, and theos, the divine. Despite our endless limitations, it seems that the qualities of attention, risk, and compassion allow us to be at one with the energy of the whole, and the result is enthusiasm, that deep sensation of oneness. As such, enthusiasm is not a mood that we can be willed or forced. Rather, it is a ripple that follows the stone. It can only be felt after we immerse ourselves in life, like a bird gliding on the current of air it cannot see, or a fish swimming with the tide of deep it cannot see, or a note being sung as part of a song it cannot see. We are all left with the necessary risk to starve the ego that in us which believes it can control the world, so that the unseeable music of being may rise and carry us. In recurring humility, our enthusiasm, our momentary oneness with the energy of the universe is the sound of God moving through the harp of the soul. It is a mysterious and strenuous and simple practice to walk when we are able and be still when we are not, to bleed the dark that builds within us and trade it for the light which is always waiting. Despite all our limitations, the most crucial challenge of being human is to show up like a rose. Take a moment during your day and sit quietly outside with your eyes open. As you breathe, be aware of the times you must blink. Be comforted by the fact that even when you blink, the sun does not stop shining, the birds do not stop singing, and the flowers do not stop opening. As you breathe and blink, be comforted by the fact that even when you can't see, your spirit does not stop shining, your heart does not stop singing, and your life does not stop opening. I had to sit with this reading, and so I decided to work on the rest of this diamond painting And then after I decided to do some writing, and then by that time it was time to meet Barry and Debbie and go to brunch. So we're actually back from brunch. But I really wanted to take time with this because it's, like I said, it's the acceptance that you're never going to get an answer. And even that line that I highlighted, that, how difficult it is not only to accept that you're not going to get a final answer tied up very neatly in a bow, but also that no one holds the answers for us. And I guess that means evidently even the players that are the ones that are putting you on this quest of asking these questions. It's humbling, the reality of it, that truth is not handed down by any single authority, but that it must be continually discovered and rediscovered. I believe that that's the vein that Mark Nepo is talking about, where I'm looking for answers to questions on people's behavior. He is talking about, or maybe he is talking about the same thing. Looking for answers from a single authority, like an elder. You just have to discover and rediscover within yourself the answers that you're looking for. And so, I put on my meditation music and I did some writing and, just contemplating that life is a mystery. We live in the mystery. And that I love the metaphor that Mark Nepo uses about blinking to describe just how fleeting clarity can be. Just the way that we blink, you blink your eyes open and close, and our understanding comes and it goes, and we can see the wholeness. Yes, it disappears. It's there and then it's not there. And what remains is the mystery of truth. Something that we can hold on to even in our darkest times, or like he says, like feeling the warmth of the sun with your eyes shut. For me, it suggests that faith and intuition and inner knowing can sustain us even when the picture fades, even when the clarity fades. I also like the way that Mark Nepo described enthusiasm as this divine energy, and tracing it back to its roots in theos, meaning in God, and that enthusiasm isn't mere excitement, but it's being in alignment with a divine energy. Something that puts you in a state of being at one with the whole, having that agreement, that relationship, that alignment with the whole. And to live with enthusiasm is to engage fully with and in life, despite the uncertainty and the limitation. And I'm sure that you can think of examples in your own life. John and I had a discussion in the car on our way to meet Debbie and Barry, and Debbie said something to me when we were saying goodbye, and she's like, it's not, I don't make friends. And John is like, I don't even know how you got by my wife's barrier, because I've been burned by people, and so I take it slow, and I don't I don't jump in. John jumps in. John's already planning the next lunch or the next brunch that we get together, and And I'm like, John, like, just take it slow. And he's like, Elisa, I know you've been burned before, but these two people have nothing to do with the two people that were in our life, that were nefarious, and like so nefarious that they got over on me, because you don't get over on John. He is not as trusting as I am. But he's like, you got to take that chance again. And yeah, you do. And I'm not looking at them like, well, I've been burned by other people, and so like I'm gonna, just, be jaded. And not at all. But I think that you do go slower, or you are more reserved, and like not, jumping in, whereas the other couple, it was just like every weekend we were together, and we were like calling each other during the week, and every weekend, every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday, like we were together. Like, and I had said to John, I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like, I'm like, I don't think I had friendships like this when I was in my 20s. So, we're, every weekend we're together, and every weekend we're going out, every weekend we're doing things. And, we're not only doing things with each other, we're doing things with our kids and everything else. Like, it was a lot. So, but, you want enthusiasm? Well, then you have to engage with life, and you have to do that despite any uncertainty and limitation. And I really liked how Mark Nepo made clear that enthusiasm is not forced or willed, but it's this ripple effect that happens when we are immersing ourselves fully in life. I think he used an example of dropping a stone in water, and the impact of showing up with attention and showing up with risk and compassion naturally creates ripples of joy, and ripples of energy, and ripples of connection. But I think my takeaway from this reflection is to invite us to loosen our grip. And it's interesting because I was watching, oh gosh, what's his name? I'm watching him on YouTube. Oh, Nick Jonah? Maybe that's his name? I don't know. But he takes these videos on faith. And that's what he was talking about. When you are in alignment with whoever your God is, when you're in line with God, when you're in line with Jesus, he was talking about this ripple effect. He was just talking about this yesterday. I don't know if you saw the video of the little boy. He was hurt on a skateboard, and he probably had a head injury, but I think he broke his arm. And I think he's in the UK, and he was in a ward with other children. The whole thing, like, because you can hear a lot of noise in the background. And so this little boy is talking to Jesus. And the nurses were saying, he's dreaming. He's coming out of the anesthesia, and he's dreaming. And people do all kinds of wild stuff with anesthesia. But you cannot be compelled to be brought to your knees while, like, listening to this little boy. And his eyes are open, and he's crying, and he's talking to Jesus. He's a little boy. He's talking to Jesus. He's like, he's a teenager. I think he's like maybe 13. And he's saying, I'm sorry, Mom. But he doesn't realize that his mother's next to him. And he's saying, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm giving you such a hard time. I know that I'm not like a good kid, I'm bad. And she's saying, no, you're not bad. And he is just going on and on and on, like, I'm gonna do better. And I love you, Mom. And he's talking to Jesus, and he's saying, Jesus, did you see my mom? Isn't she beautiful? Don't I have the most beautiful mom? And then all of a sudden he sees his dad, who had just passed away like a month ago. And I think it was like a month ago. And his grandfather died also. So these two men that are pivotal in this young boy's life, and who he's very close to, have just died within 6 months of each other, I would say. But he's talking to Jesus, and all of a sudden he sees his dad, and he's crying, and he's like, oh, Dad, I miss you, Dad. Did you see me? Did you see me on my skateboard? Did you see how I got hurt? And yeah, I'm sorry, Dad. I don't want to make Mom worry. It is heartbreaking. But one of the nurses, because the mother has just, this happened like a year ago, but she's just released the tape of her son. And I kind of was like, I don't know that if my son was having this moment, that I would videotape it and then put it on a YouTube channel. Like, I would preserve my son's dignity with this situation. But one of the nurses, when this little boy was talking, she turned around to the mother and said, I've never seen anything like this before. And I think that you should record this. And so the mom did. And you see, I think his name is Nick Jonah. I always want to say Nick Jonas, but I think he's one of the Jonas brothers. But I think his name is Nick Jonas, or Jonas Nick. I don't know. But he's very deep in his faith. And he said, my subscribers, which he has millions of them, have said to watch this video. And he's like, okay, I'm going to watch it. I've heard about this little boy that is coming out of anesthesia. He broke his arm. He was skateboarding, and he sees Jesus. So he's talking to his dad, and then he sees his grandpa, and he just like falls apart. And now he's not in conversation with his father or with his grandfather, because that is not something that Christians believe, that you can talk to the dead. That's a whole other story that comes into like magic, and that's not something that Christians believe. You shouldn't be trying to talk to the dead or summon them up. That's magic that Christians don't believe in. But I don't know, like, judging from his conversation, he wasn't talking to Jesus either. Like, he saw him, but he was telling him how beautiful he was. And he kept saying, I can't see. I can't see. The light is too bright. And then he saw his dad, and then he saw his grandfather. And he does say, I'm going to do better. My mom is so good. She works so hard for our family so that we can have what we need. And he's asking his father, like, do you see Mom? Do you see her? She loves you. She talks to you all the time. She loves you, Dad. And my mom is so good, and she reads the Bible, and she works hard for us. He kept saying that. And then he said, Dad, your hair looks so beautiful. Oh my God, you have so much hair. Because he lost his hair. He had cancer. And then he's telling Jesus that your eyes are so beautiful, they're filled with fire. And that's when this guy kind of like, the guy that's watching the video kind of like jumped back, and he was like, yo, And he did read Revelations, and he wanted to know, like, did this little boy, like his mother reads the Bible, did he read Revelation? So she's just recently come out with a follow-up video of her son and why she posted this on YouTube, and saying, no, my son has never read Revelations. Mature adults can't handle Revelations if they're not in alignment with Jesus. If you're not in alignment with God, you should not be reading Revelations. And no, my son, he's not mature enough to read Revelations. But that whole, but Nick was saying, the gentleman that's watching the video was saying how this boy says that he's going to read the Bible, and then he begins to pray for his mother, the nurses, the doctors, and he's asking Jesus to bless them. You know, please, Jesus, take care of my nurses. They've been so good to me. Please make sure they go to heaven. Please bless my doctors that took care of my arm. Please bless my mother. And he said in Revelations, that is how Jesus is described, with the fire in his eyes. And his mother kept saying to him, Case, wake up. Come on, Case, wake up. Come on. And he said to her, that's not my name. My name's Brian. And she was like almost like she's sobbing at this testimony that this little boy is giving. But she's like, your name is not Brian. But Nick was saying that when you see heaven or enter heaven, you're given a name. And he believes this little boy was given the name Brian. He's like, there's nothing about this testimony that this little boy gave, whether he was under anesthesia or not, that he doesn't believe that he did not. He doesn't believe. He believes that he did see Jesus. Because there was just too many things in the Bible that this little boy was talking about. You should really see it. It's very, I mean, I was sobbing at the beauty of this little boy and what he is seeing. So I think it was sometime after that the mother showed him the video, and he doesn't remember any of it. He doesn't remember. He has no recollection of this. It was actually a 40-minute tape. You might only see a couple minutes of it, but I think she released a longer tape some time ago that was like 10 minutes, but the entire tape was 40. And she just was like, no, I won't release that other stuff because that's private to my son. But she said that he does not remember any of it, and that when he saw himself speaking to Jesus and speaking to his father and his grandfather, that he was crying, and that he has, she said, Case is a very special boy. He's very, very special. And he has been reading the gospel, and he has been, speaking the gospel. And Nick was saying what was so overwhelming to him about it was, this is what it is when you let go and you become aligned with your faith. And this was the message also in this reading. It is a letting go. To loosen the takeaway that I had was that this was a reflection for us to loosen our grip on needing to know answers and just immerse yourself in the flow of life. And that from this immersion is where your enthusiasm arises, not as a mood that we control, because enthusiasm is not anything that you can force, but as a gift that comes from living deeply and living with vulnerability and in tune with something greater than ourselves. And that's my lesson. This is what I have to learn. This is what I am working on in myself. I kind of pride myself on being a digger. I dig. I dig. I dig. I got to know. And then I'm always amazed that when I'm reading something or learning something new or hearing something, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's a piece of a puzzle of something else that I've been questioning for a long time. But I didn't have this piece of context. And now here it is. And so like I'm like, oh wow, like I'm like I wasn't even looking. Oh God, I just gave myself the chills. Because I wasn't even looking. I was immersed in something that I was enjoying, and a piece of the puzzle, fell into place. Look how easy it is when you let go. And here I am talking about something that I love, my self-care Sundays, because it is my time to really take a deep dive. And sometimes I don't understand the readings, and sometimes I'm like, this is not what I wanted to hear today. It's not what I wanted to hear. I need something more. But I do force myself. I don't like to admit that I force anything, but I do force myself to say, okay, you don't need to know everything right now. Stop the video, go back, read it again, take it apart, get your book out, start writing, and then it's like, oh my God, this is the reading that I needed today. This is the reading because I just had to sit with it, and I just had to do a little work. And it's like one of my favorite readings. And I think this is one I'm going to have to bookmark. And this is one that I'm going to have to really go back to. It's like when I start asking these questions that I need to know, I want to know why but I don't think either that when I don't know something that I lash out. Like I talked a little bit about, my decision to move on with my life. Nobody was in my marriage with me. And, people did judge me. And, I lost a lot of people in my life. But, what your opinion is of me doesn't matter. I don't care. Because you had no part in creating the person that I am. And so, the fact that you think that you have a say or that your say matters has always been comical to me. But I think that that's what I was getting to. When I don't understand something, then I just don't understand. I don't, I had judgment passed on me. People didn't understand, and they didn't bother to ask either. They didn't bother to ask. They wouldn't even take a minute to pick up the phone. It was just like, well, and then this comes full circle again with being a nice person, because they don't feel as though that you have a say. They thrive on control, and it is a form of narcissism too. I hate that word. I hate it because I don't think a lot of people understand it. But if you're trying to control someone in your life, that they should do what you think that they should do, and they're basically at their core a good person, you're the narcissist. That's you. If they're just enjoying their life and doing things that they choose to do that make them happy, and you think that by treating them badly is going to control them, because most people that are very good-natured and good and kind and compassionate and empathetic, I'm really starting to weigh these words and these emotions in my life and really thinking about how virtuous they are. And I came to the conclusion, and I said it earlier, they're virtuous if you are in a relationship with people that are rational, that they understand your kindness, they understand, and they're they not only understand, but they seek to have a relationship with you that is they seek to have a relationship with you that is a joyous one. They're not looking to judge you in any way or control you in any way. So yeah, everything kind of came back full circle. And so, like I said, if I don't understand something, I don't lash out at people, and I don't try and even the people that hurt me, I didn't lash out at them. I just walked away. I just was like, hey, you know what? If you don't even want to take the time to pick up the phone and ask me what happened, like, I was really never in a relationship with you that was virtuous, that was where my kindness, there's that saying in the Bible, don't throw your pearls at pigs. Your pearls are your graces. And so what does each pearl represent around your neck? Oh, you're kind, you're generous, you're empathetic, you're compassionate, you're giving. They're the pearls that you wear around your neck. But if you throw them at everybody, you're not you were the steward of those graces. You're complicit. You're allowing yourself to be treated that way. So even with the people that hurt me, I never went at them. I never pointed my finger at them. Well, at that point, I was just done. I did in the past. I absolutely did in the past. Get entangled in arguments that never led to any kind of solution, because you're dealing with irrational people. They're irrational. They only seek to control. They only seek for you to obey. They only seek to take your kindness and goodness because there's something in you that is fearful of maybe being alone, fearful of not being liked, fearful of being judged, fearful of being tossed out of the clan, of the group, of the tribe, whatever you want to call it. And they know that. And they feed on that. So when I shut the door, I didn't shut the door on one thing. I shut the door on a lot of things. And I walked into a lot of uncertainty because I didn't know which way my life was going to go. I didn't know. And my biggest fear was I want to say having these people back in my life, even though I knew I wouldn't have them back in my life. That day will never happen where they're back in my life. Never happen. Blood, not blood. No, it will never happen. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. I'm going around and around and around. Where am I at with this raven? Is it done? Because I'm just talking. I'm not even looking at what I'm doing. Oh, I think I'm just getting ready to seal this. But let me tell you, I think I'm going to end this video. There's a couple minutes still left. I decided to change the eye because I know like a raven's eye is like more like a blue, black. Really interesting. Their feathers are like opalescent blues and purples. I think he came out really good. So when I came back from brunch and I went in upstairs and I went to go look at the raven, let me tell you how crystal clear the Art Dot sealant is. It is absolutely, oh my God, so stunning. I was like, wow, this sealer, like, I'm so glad that I sealed this and went out. And I'm so confident that nothing is going to fall off of it. And it's just going to look so beautiful on the journal. So there's like another 13 minutes to me doing this. And then I think putting on the sealant. So I'm going to leave you with that beautiful piece of music from Kevin MacLeod called Fluidscape that you guys all like. And you can watch me seal this raven. And then when that ends, I'm just going to come back to say goodbye, but to also show you how he turned out. Oh God, it's so gorgeous. It's so shiny. It's just beautiful. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Okay, so here he is. Look at how beautiful and shiny he is. Let me pick this up. I'm holding my phone with my other hand. I'm so glad that I sealed it. I love Art Dot Sealer. I really do. I love it. And it didn't seep through. I think he looks great. I think he looks great. And that's it for me. It has been a long Sunday. I'm going to get this uploaded. And I think I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. And I hope that you are enjoying the last few hours of your Sunday fun day. See you as always in the next one.